Well, good evening and welcome to an extremely peculiar evening of the Village of Tinley Park regular Village Board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Let the record reflect that it is Tuesday, March 17th, 2020, St. Patrick's Day. The village clock has it at 7:31 p.m. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can remain standing for a brief moment today. Unfortunately, the state lost its first victim to the pandemic. If we could take in a moment for that woman and her family, and certainly for the rest of the patients that are currently battling for their lives, the doctors, and all those who are making the extremely difficult decisions that this country and this world are undergoing right now. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg. Here. Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Here.
Trustee Galante. Here. Trustee Glatz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Present, thank you. Item number 1, at this time I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the agenda.
So
Is
moved.
there a motion? It's been properly moved by Trustee Brennan,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Brady. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion will carry, thank you. Item number 2, at this time I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting that was held on March 3rd, 2020.
I'll make that motion.
It's been properly moved by Trustee Mueller,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Berg. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carry, thank you. Item 3, Trustee Glatz. Or clerk,
We're going
we're tabling that, or removing it?
to the next meeting. I make a motion to table this to the next meeting?
So moved.
It's been properly moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
That will be tabled to our next
April 7th?
scheduled village board meeting, right? Item number 4, Trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to consider the appointment of Jonathan Brown to the position of computer technician.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Thank you. The village conducted a recruitment for the position of computer technician and received responses from over 100 interested applicants. After review and shortlisting, interviews were conducted with the 5 of the top qualified candidates, and Jonathan Brown was selected to fill this position. Jonathan is an IT and network support professional with over 15 years of experience in a variety of computer operating systems, applications, hardware, networks, as well as virus malware removal. He earned a bachelor's degree in information technology with a concentration in network administration from Copeland University and is CompTIA security and CE certified. Most recently, Jonathan worked for 11 years at the Village of Park Forest as IT network administrator and served as the village's emergency response task force committee. Jonathan has also worked for IT help desk technician for Morgan Services, which he provided Tier 2 help desk support on computer and networking issues for 3 Chicago area branches remotely. I want you to consider appointing Jonathan Brown to the position of computer technician.
Thank you, Trustee Brady. Is there anything from the board regarding the appointment here? Let the record reflect there's none. And Mr. Brown is not in the audience because of the current situation that we're underneath, so we will call a roll call on this, please.
Trustee Berg. Yes. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry, thank you. Item 5, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider the appointment of Priscilla Cordero to the position of Business Development Manager.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The village conducted recruitment to fill a vacancy in community development and received 18 responses from interested applicants. Interviews were conducted with 2 top candidates, and it was determined that Priscilla Cordero was the best qualified candidate for the new position of Business Development Manager. Priscilla earned a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Illinois and is a bilingual economic development professional with more than 15 years of experience working with banks, small businesses, and communities. Most recently, she worked for J.P. Morgan Chase as Business Relationship Manager. She also served as an Associate Director of the Women's Business Development Center and as the Director of Illinois Small Business Development Center as Governor State University. Priscilla has worked with many businesses in Tinley Park and collaborated with the village for several years on seminar topics of starting a business in Illinois, as well as seminars for established businesses. She is a certified business development advisor and in her free time has been a 5-time marathon finisher. Please consider appointing Priscilla Cordero to the position of Business Development Manager.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Does anybody from the board care to comment? Looking forward to Priscilla starting. Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Now, typically, when we have appointments like this, we have a nice reception. We invite the newly appointed employee, and unfortunately for the evening, like I said, given the circumstances, so I think it's important to recognize them. Obviously, John, we have you to go yet, but we're going to single you out because I know you have somebody here in the audience with you. So, so just a quick round of applause for those two, if we could. I'd like to pause for a moment. Thank you. We'll move on to item 6. This is a bittersweet item for us this evening. I'd ask for a motion to consider appointing Mr. John Urbanski as our interim Public Works Director effective April 1st, 2020.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Thank you very much. Due to the recent retirement of Public Works Director Kevin Workowski that will take place on March 31st of 2020, it is recommended that John Urbanski be appointed to interim Public Works Director, like I said, effective on April 1st of this year. John has been spending most of his entire career here in Tinley Park. Been a longtime village employee, longtime village resident, hardworking, put himself through school, has expanded his education certificates, and pretty much what we are looking for in employees here in the village, starting from lower to medium range position and working their way up through the ranks. I think is extremely important to recruitment for the future, and we really couldn't be any happier for you, John. So if you could, please step up to the microphone before we take this roll call.
Just don't touch it.
Yep, there's some hand sanitizer there, so just don't breathe on the mic either. We will call a roll on this first, and then we'll invite John to speak.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Well, that motion will carry. Congratulations, John. Thank you. Please.
So I wanted to start out by thanking the village manager and all of the elected officials for giving me this opportunity to show my capabilities as the interim director. Additionally, I wanted to thank Kevin Workowski for being a mentor and creating such a great succession plan that afforded me the ability to learn so much of his institutional knowledge. For those of you that are not aware, I was born and raised in Oak Lawn. My mother was a loyal civil servant, recently retiring with over 30 years from the IRS. As a front desk receptionist, she was the person every taxpayer walking in saw first and offered their frustrations to. It was from her that I learned the importance of being patient and compassionate to our customers, the residents. I've spent more than half my life as a Tinley Park employee, starting here 21 years ago as a laborer. I worked my way up through the ranks, taking on more responsibilities and increasing my public contact with each step, which allowed me to create many friendships with the residents over these years. Shortly after starting Public Works, I also joined the fire department and increased my training by taking advantage of the many college-level courses offered in leadership. I resigned 13 years later as a lieutenant to dedicate more of my life and time to Public Works, and it was at that point I made the decision to dedicate myself and my family to this career in Tinley Park. As a single father for the past 4 years, I'm proud to say I was able to handle the struggle of balancing life between work, attending night school, to complete my bachelor's degree, and by raising my 3 kids, 2 of now that are serving as U.S. Marines, and my daughter that has now made the statement that she wants to join the Navy when she graduates in 2 years.
That'll be trouble.
With multiple generations of civil servants in my family, the teaching of great predecessors, the support of village peers, management, and you, the elected officials, I bring a great combination of strengths as an interim director with passion for the job, knowledge of the public works operations and infrastructure, and ultimately the pride and love of Tinley Park as the place I helped to build and raise my family. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks, John.
I have a question, though. No, you can sit. Maybe Dave can answer it, or maybe Pat. How long is interim?
Well, it's till through July 31st. It's really as long as the board determines, but
Okay.
that's what it's scheduled for now. So he's interim until, make a decision otherwise.
Oh, all right, just wondered. Wanted to be sure.
Do you have somebody here?
I have my fiance Antonia sitting in the back row. My support system was diminished to one as of obviously the current situation. So I do definitely want to thank her for all the support she's given me in these last couple years here for the movement here.
Very good.
I know she didn't want to sit any closer to you.
You take that back row and nobody can cough on your neck.
That's right.
All right, moving along. Item number 7, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider approval of the following consent agenda items. Is there such a motion?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, can you read these into the record, please?
Item A, consider request from American Legion Riders, Post 615, to conduct a raffle every Sunday from March 1st, 2020 to April 6th, 2020 at American Legion, Post 615, 17423 67th Court, with the maximum value of the prize not to exceed $250,000. Winners will be drawn at American Legion, Post 615. Item B, consider request from American Legion Riders, Post 615, to conduct a raffle on Saturday, April 11th, 2020, at American Legion, Post 615, 17423 67th Court, with the maximum value of the prize not to exceed $500. Winners will be drawn at American Legion, Post 615. Item C, consider request from Tinley Park Sertoma Club to conduct a Tag Day fundraiser on Friday, September 11th and Saturday, September 12th, 2020, at certain intersections in the village of Tinley Park. Item D, consider request for a block party permit on Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, on 175th Place between 6800 and 70th Court from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Item E, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-032, authorizing an amendment to a professional services agreement with GovTemps USA for provision of an interim community development director. And lastly, item F, consider payment of outstanding bills in the amount of $2,816,506.42 as listed on the vendor board approval reports dated March 6th and March 20th, 2020.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Does any board member care to remove any of these items? Let the record reflect there's none. I'd ask that you call the roll, please.
Trustee Burke.
Here.
Trustee
Yes.
Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 8, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider Resolution 2020-R-020, authorizing the execution of an annexation agreement with Mad Outdoor, Inc. for property located at 18501 Ridgeland Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second.
The petitioners, David Malay and Mark Hertzer, on behalf of Mad Outdoor, Inc., have petitioned the Village of Tinley Park to annex their approximate 16.58 acre parcel located at 18501 Ridgeland Avenue. There are 3 billboards with 4 sign faces currently located on the property that will be rendered illegal non-conforming upon annexation. Per the annexation agreement, these billboards will be allowed to continue with their current configuration subject to Section 9-N of the Tinley Park zoning ordinance. The property will be annexed as R1 Single Family Residential Zoning District. Any redevelopment of the parcel will need to conform to village code, ordinance, and regulations as amended from time to time. As part of the annexation agreement, the petitioners have agreed to provide 1 month of advertising per year on 1 billboard free of charge with the exception of a nominal production cost for layout and printing. The item was discussed at the Community Development Committee meeting held on February 25th, 2020. A public hearing will be held before the village board meeting on April 7th, 2020. So this resolution is eligible for first reading today.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
I'd like to thank the petitioners for allowing us to use the sign.
Very good. Anything else? This is up for first reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 9, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider ordinance 2020-0-015, approving the annexation of a parcel of property commonly located at 18501 Ridgeland Avenue to the Village of Tinley Park.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
The petitioners, David and Mark, on behalf of Mad Outdoor, Inc., are seeking annexation of the property with PIN 31-05-101-002-000. The property will be annexed into R1 Single Family Residential Zoning District. This item was discussed at the Community Development Committee held on February 25th, 2020. This ordinance is also eligible for first reading.
Thank you. Anything from the board? Eligible for first reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 10, trustee Glatz.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-030, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Gallagher Asphalt for the fiscal year 2021 resurfacing program.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. The 2020 pavement management program project entails approximately 9.2 miles of pavement improvements, which includes street resurfacing by heater, scarification, hot mix asphalt, surface removal and replacement, pavement patching, miscellaneous concrete repairs, structure adjustments, pavement striping, and other miscellaneous improvements encountered during the project. The 5 bids were received on February 27, 2020. The bid results are listed below. The lowest bidder was Gallagher Asphalt Corporation for $3,681,512.04. Consider award a contract to Gallagher Asphalt in the amount of $681,512.04. This meeting was discussed at the Committee of the Whole held previously to this meeting. Resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Expenditure of funds, any comments from the public? Let the record reflect there's none. Madam Clerk, will you include all of the bids into the record as well for us, please? Please call a roll.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 11, trustee Glatz.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-010, affirming the village manager's authority to approve a contract between the village and Constellation New Energy, Inc. water pump stations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. The village participates in a consortium with 140 other municipalities known as the Northern Illinois Municipal Electrical Collaborative to drive down pricing for residential and municipal electricity. NIMEC will routinely go out to bid for electricity pricing relating to 5 village pumping stations. These 5 accounts are bid separately because of the high level of electric consumption used to operate these pump stations. Due to the lack of notice, the item was unable to be discussed at a meeting prior to contract execution. However, given the historic lows of the market, the village selected the 3-year term at the rate of 4.66 cents per kilowatt hour, beginning on April 30th, 2020, ending April 30th, 2023. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole prior to this meeting. Resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Mike. Any comments from the board regarding item 11? Expenditure, no, this is not really expenditure funds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, trustee Galante.
Thank you. I'd like to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-031, declaring the village official intent to reimburse expenditures proposed 159th and Harlem TIF District.
So moved.
On March 3rd, 2020, the Village of Tinley Park authorized moving forward with the feasibility study under the Tax Increment Finance Act to determine if the area commonly referred to as 159th Street and Harlem Avenue may be designated as a redevelopment project area. As a result of the feasibility study, the village is expected to incur expenses for TIF project costs, which under the TIF Act would be reimbursable from the TIF increment revenues generated from the properties within the study area. The village anticipates the reimbursement of professional services expenses as well as property acquisitions costs as part of the reimbursement resolution. This resolution was discussed at the committee of the whole meeting prior to this meeting, and this resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, trustee Galante. Any comments from the board? Very good. Any comments from the public regarding this? Please call the roll.
Trustee Burke.
No.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 13, trustee Galante.
Thank you. I'd like to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-016 pertaining to the amusement tax video gaming terminals.
I'd like to make a motion to table this to April 7th, 2020.
Second.
Hold on. She made a motion to bring it to the table. Doesn't need a second first, Counselor? I believe trustee Galante made a motion to consider the adoption to the table? Does that need a vote first?
No.
So it's over, it's superseding? All right, fair enough. Thank you for the clarification. Trustee Glatz has made a motion to table this item, and it's been
Trustee
seconded by trustee Byrd. Are we setting a date to that, or when is it?
7th, Jake.
To the next board meeting, April 7th. Any discussion amongst that before we call for a vote?
Good by me.
I
Nope.
think it's great.
Okay,
Um,
we'll call a roll on that, please.
Okay, motion to table until April 7th. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
That motion to table will carry. Thank you. Item 14, receive comments from staff. Dave?
Thanks, Mr. President. So, obviously, there's been a lot of things happening the last week. I just want to, Pat and I are both going to talk about some of our service adjustments. Most, if not all these things are on our website, but can't hurt to, I think, repeat these as much as possible. So both of us have some things to report. As everyone is aware, we've closed the village hall to the public. We are still here answering phones, responding to emails, so services still go on. As you all know, we've canceled after tonight all meetings through at least April 7th. We have temporarily closed the Tinley Park Senior Center. The senior bus service is only available for medical reasons and grocery delivery. We've also canceled several village events, from the Coffee with a Cop event Thursday, the 5K Run for Your Life safety event, and Photos with the Bunny in April. In addition, we've also enacted several measures to help ease the burden of those forced to take time off, and to others affected by this. So until further notice, the village will not charge late fees or shut off water service to residents due to an inability to pay. Similarly, normally vehicle stickers would go on sale April 1st. We have pushed that back to May 1st, and the deadline for purchasing is also pushed back 1 month to July 31st. Also, commuters who use permit parking or buy parking tokens can continue to do so by visiting our website and filling out the appropriate forms, and can send these forms with payment to Village Hall by mail or Dropbox. Community development is now only accepting permit applications via email at building@tinleypark.org, and for deposit at the Dropbox in front of Village Hall. We are limiting the number of inspectors that conduct an occupied home, and we are assessing all these inspections on a case-by-case basis to determine if they can be delayed. Community development, as with a lot of the Village Hall, many of our staff are working remotely where they can, and several are still here. So that's pretty much in the Village Hall area. I don't know, Pat, wanted to give an update on what's going on in public safety.
Yeah, our public safety departments, we've been planning with the county for the last 45 to 50 days. When this started getting out into the news and into the areas, We've been working hand in hand with the state, our elected officials, to assist us in procuring different items for our preparation. A lot of both our police and fire, none of our services will be degraded, but they will be taking extra universal precautions dealing with people as it relates to the pandemic that's going on. Part of this, as it relates to emergency management, we have to try to get volunteers to help us address some of the things that we have in the community, and one of them is our at-risk population that might be out there. I've been working with Trustee Brennan and Trustee Glotz. We've had an individual, Tim Janasek, that has stepped forward to assist us in mobilizing a volunteer program within the village that will be based off of around 8 different regions within our village to help mobilize people in subdivisions to address and point out to us who our at-risk population is, so we can compile a list there and help with addressing some of their needs that they might have. So this is a very large effort. That's why in emergency management we have to count on the community to assist us to do this. And we've had numerous people, I would say, just based on some of the Facebook posts, up to 20 people that have already stepped forward to assist in this effort. So it's going to be it's a long haul ahead, and glad we have community members that will step up to assist us with this, and we're going to make this a team effort to address all of these issues. So that's what we have going.
Anything else from staff?
One other thing I did want to mention, the Parmesan's Restaurant in the 80th Avenue Train Station has recently closed. The village had a lease that did expire with them several months ago. There's been some other issues related to performance at the station, and so just wanted to let folks aware. Obviously, with the closure by the state, it would be closed anyway, but we have proactively ended that lease, and obviously we'll be looking at other options going forward.
Are you looking for a new tenant?
I think so, Yellen?
Not in my pocket, but I'll check.
Okay.
Bill make the donuts.
Yeah.
Anything else from staff? Thank you. Item 15, receive comments from the board.
I do, Jake. So to add to what Pat was saying, so Tim Janasek, he is volunteer coordinator for the community relief efforts in Tidley Park, and we'll be organizing volunteers to work together and provide whatever relief that we can to our seniors and to other vulnerable populations in the community. Volunteers are extremely needed. If you have the time and the ability to lead volunteers in your neighborhood, please contact Tim via Facebook Messenger. Time is of the essence, and we are going to need this organization moving fast. This is all hands on deck for Tinley Park, and if you can help us, let us know. If you can lead as well, let us know. We're all in this together. Like Pat said, Trustee Brennan and I will be working with Tim, and I think, Pat, you swore Tim in today as a EMA, as an EMA member. Thanks, Pat.
So if you're not on Facebook, how do you get a hold of Mr. Janasek?
You could contact.
Call Pat?
Yeah,
Pat
right now
Carr.
it's,
Thank you.
Yeah, right now it's via Messenger. Also, we put out there, we have an email address right now. It's COVID-19 inquiry at tinleypark.org. That's another way to address any concerns right now, so.
I could email it to you as well.
Thanks, Bud.
How does one become a member of EMA?
What's that?
How does somebody, if there was more volunteers that were interested in joining, how do they do
So
that?
we are a state accredited agency. In time of emergency, we're able to bring on people to assist in a voluntary effort. So we run a background check and then we swear them in. So since we're an accredited agency, we have the ability to swear people in times of emergency.
Just based off of volunteerism?
Yeah, based off of somebody wants to volunteer for it. So it's a volunteer position, non-paid position.
Anything else from the board?
Actually, there's one more thing I wanted to mention. Just maybe.
You gotta wait till April 7th.
Huh?
We're already on the next item.
No. So this is related to the governor's declaration with bars and restaurants. So I think everybody is aware of the declaration that the bars and restaurants are no longer to go in for seated dining. So we've reached out to all the bars and restaurants, as many as we can in town, to get them information on the laws. We're fielding a number of questions, but again, just because there's a lot of information out there, some people, we've gotten calls that thinking, oh, the bars and restaurants are closed. At the restaurants, you can still get food, so there's drive-through, there's pickup. You go into a restaurant and take food and bring it out. You have to maintain proper social distance, but that's kind of one of the other things we've been dealing with. And, and a lot of our restaurants have been appreciative of some of the information we've supplied.
I didn't think to ask, Paul, are they doing anything through the township as well? Are they doing anything at township
Vis-a-vis,
as far as helping the seniors and stuff?
yes, there's information posted out on the township website for any seniors that are self-quarantined can get water and food delivered to their home if they contact the township. 708-403-4222.
Thanks, Paul.
Bill can assist with that as well.
Yeah, and food, not only just water, but food as well.
And Bill will run it over.
Yeah, yes, you're right, I will.
Deduct a minute from his billing if you could. That was self-promotion.
I would just like to reiterate for the sake of clarity, I know Dave touched on it, but the deadlines for purchasing vehicle stickers and displaying them have been pushed back. So traditionally they've been available for purchase April 1st. They'll now be available this year, May 1st. And then the deadline to display is being pushed back from June 30th to July 31st.
Thank you, Clerk. Are there any updated numbers on the election polling that we had through here?
I haven't looked today. They were packed today.
Yeah?
Every time I went down there, there was a lot.
Good.
Last couple days.
Very good.
Good.
Anything else from the board? We'll move on to item 16, receive comments from the public.
I guess I'll do some of this. Let me touch this. Dave, you can still get the parking tokens at the police station also for the train station parking?
What is the police station word?
I get mine here and there, so.
Yeah, actually, they're gonna be closed to the public, effective tomorrow, too.
The police station?
Yeah, for getting tokens or anything.
Okay, so you just,
You'll be fine.
oh, okay. So I recently put a FOIA in concerning Mr. Eberhardt. During his actions as a radio operator, police officer, so here we go. On Tuesday, November 4th, 1975, at approximately 11:15 a.m., I received a telephone call from Mr. Langford from CBS Television. Mr. Eberhardt was calling from Blue Island and asking why and by what right a Tinley Park squad with uniformed officer had pulled over a motorcycle with red lights and siren northbound on Western Avenue at 70th Street in the city of Chicago. He further advised that seeing the Tinley Park squad do this is CBS, I believe, he stopped to see what was taking place and observed the uniformed officer berating the individual to the extent he started in that direction to see what was taking place, thinking it might be a noteworthy news item. The officer observed him approaching, returned the driver's license to the motorcyclist, go back in the squad, and left. Mr. Langford advised that he stopped the motorcyclist to ascertain why Tinley Park had stopped him. He was advised by the motorcyclist that the officer had very rude and stopped for no other reason that he didn't like the motorcyclist. On checking with yourself, you advised the only marked unit you could think of in the area was radio operator Eberhardt, who should be taking a radar unit for repairs.
Mr. Stuckley, is there anything that's related to village business? in your
Yeah, this
comment
is village business because this is,
From 1975, and it's about somebody that's no longer employed here.
it has a Tinley Park stamp on here, chief of police and everything. So this is village business.
And can
This
you
is
get-
village business.
And can you get to the point then?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read because he comes up here all the time. So this is village business. Do you have a problem with that or not?
I disagree with you in that this is not village business, but I'll let you proceed for your timing remain.
All right.
Lost another 30 seconds.
On checking with yourself, you advised the only marked unit that had you could think of in the area was radio operator Eberhardt, who should be taking a radar unit for repairs. At approximately 12:15 a.m., radio operator Eberhardt was questioned by myself to ascertain if the accusations by Mr. Langford were true. Eberhardt advised that there were and gave his reason for stopping the motorcyclist was the motorcycle had cut him off, it had no license plate, and the driver was not wearing glasses as required by law. He further advised that on checking the individual's driver's license, he was out of classification. I questioned Mr. Eberhardt and his reason for being in Chicago on Western Avenue and 70th to begin with. He advised he picked up a radar unit at Moraine Valley College from Officer Montgomery and was in fact en route to taking it for repairs. On Mr. Langford's original call, he advised there were 2 men in the marked unit. Questioning Eberhardt on his fact, he advised that it was true that he had stopped and picked up a high school friend by the name of Ron at 99th in California, was taking him in Chicago just for the ride. This is not the first of several incidents that have occurred involving radio operator Eberhardt. You are aware of several of the other incidents. He still has 2 weeks to go on his probationary period, and I feel at this time some type of disciplinary action is warranted. I do want to file with Civil Service Commission to have his probationary period extended for another 6 months. I further feel that in reference to the severity of this latest incident, one of the following 3 alternatives should be taken: a written reprimand, time off, or dismissal. Further attached to this report, you'll find the forms of the employee evaluation, which would cover the first 6 months of Eberhardt. I would appreciate it being completed by this Friday, November 75th. This is from Chief Long. Pursuant to allegations of violations of Tinley Park Police Department rules and regulations, such allegation be made by superior officer and defined as dispatching units of desk clerks shall promptly dispatch field units to make investigations after receiving information of the need of police service. Let me cut to the chase. Where in elaborate explanation of the circumstances of the events which led to the above allegations of violation, you do acknowledge said violation probably did occur. You are hereby suspended without pay from all departmental duties in attendance with your job classification for a period of 3 days. Now, the reason I'm reading this is, Mayor Vandenberg, you wanted to appoint Steve to a position, correct?
Got a minute and 15 left. Go ahead and finish your comments.
As a watchdog or inspector general.
Can you do us all a favor, back up in the microphone? You're spitting on it. I don't know if there's anybody else that'd like to comment this evening as
Oh,
well.
you know what? That's why we have this.
You mean
That's
to
why
put it
we
on
got
the
this here.
microphone?
We'll do that, that's all, okay? So I think I touched a little nerve there, Mayor Vandenberg?
Not at all.
But anyway, you did want to appoint him to a watchdog or an inspector general?
Yes, I did.
And this is after,
I wasn't born in 1975, so I wouldn't have had the opportunity to read that. Nor
but
did
you
I
know
have
what?
the
There
opportunity to
are
FOIA
other
that data.
instances that I'm going to try and dig into and find out, so. Because it states in here there were other instances,
Okay.
so.
Anything else?
No, I just think I touched the nerve, but thanks.
No, the only nerve is that, we'll leave it alone.
No, you said it wasn't village business, but it is because you wanted to appoint him to a special position as Inspector General or Watchdog. And this is why I brought it up. When you said it's not village business, I believe it still is.
It's not really village business. It's just a political
That-
punch to
that's-
try to
but that's-
revert to something that happened 2.5 years ago. But-
That's your opinion, though. That's your opinion. And I have an opinion also. But this is a FOIA. It's still documented.
Fabulous. Have a great night. Thank you. Anything else from the public? It's in budget, you can probably.
Sure. There's stuff all over.
I'm gonna look at the video and see if I spit now, Mike too.
Well, I don't know if if the microphone, if the video catches that, it's an impressive video camera, but it's just,
You said you saw me spitting into the mic.
no, just common courtesy. When you speak this close to a microphone, droplets are coming out of your mouth, sir, and landing on the microphone.
Scientist now? No, it's a fact.
It's a fact. Go to the CDC and they'll explain it all to you as well. But thanks for coming out tonight. Anything else from the public this evening? There is none. Are we going into executive session?
Make sure you call Steve when I leave.
Have a good evening. Pardon me?
I would recommend none.
Is there a motion to, well,
Adjourn the meeting.
Counselor, do we have to take a motion because it's on the agenda or no?
No, just
Just,
whenever you have it,
does anybody have a problem with that?
you know, just a motion to adjourn.
Make
Thank
a
you.
motion to adjourn the meeting?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
At 8:12.